just before we start the show, I want to take an opportunity to invite you to join me for the Podfluence Weekly newsletter, which is available both on LinkedIn and through the official newsletter channel. Now, if you are on LinkedIn and it's easier for you to follow there, then please just click on the link in the show notes, which will take you straight to Podfluence on LinkedIn, where you can subscribe for free and get weekly updates on Podfluence articles as well as episodes. If you would like to subscribe to the full newsletter where you'll get additional materials and, as my little incentive to you, my pre-podcast guest checklist for you to use when you're appearing on podcast shows so that you can be fully prepared every single time, then please click the link to the official newsletter in the show notes. Hope to see you there. Let's get on with the show. Welcome to the Loki Podcast with John Ball from Present Influence. We use Buzzsprout to upload and distribute the Loki Podcast to all major podcasting networks. If you're thinking of starting your own podcast, check out the link to Buzzsprout in the show notes. You could start your podcast today. So today I want to talk a little bit about why I love public speaking and presentation work so much, and hopefully maybe get you to think about perhaps why you might love it as well, and why you may be listening to someone ranting on or rambling about public speaking and presentation and influence and persuasion. I do think that public speaking and online presentation and video and YouTube, they have incredible power to influence and persuade people. And my hope is to do that from a good place, to help people empower themselves, give people the tools to be able to make their lives and their experiences and their businesses better, and to have better communication, healthier times, and happier lives in general. Those are my goals, not necessarily the same as everyone else who does this, but throughout history, from the earliest days of oration in the Roman Senate, for example, the power lay with the people who could speak well. The people who had the greatest influence were the people who you wanted to listen to because they spoke so clearly and they had powerful messages. Even now we can see in the religious world, for example, so many messages that are delivered with real passion and power that has the ability to persuade, to lead people's hearts and minds into certain belief systems and practices. And it can be just as true of things outside of the religious world as well. You can see it in the political world to some degree. And sometimes that's used for greater good. Sometimes it's used for self-enrichment. The tools itself, public speaking, presentation itself, is not an ethical thing. It's just a tool. It's a vehicle. And so it's always going to be the person driving the vehicle who is going to have the responsibility for what that gets used for. So if you are wanting to get up onto a stage, I think you're either going to be empowering people or disempowering people or boring the hell out of them. But to have a good reason to get up on stage, I want to encourage people who want to make a positive difference, who I want to do good things, to be of service to people, not by making them dependent, but by empowering them, making their lives better, creating more love and happiness and good feelings and putting that stuff out into the world. Those are the people who I really want to help and make a difference with, and to have ethical influence, ethical persuasion when you get up on any kind of platform, video or live or otherwise, and to be putting a message out there. So my why for doing this is making a positive difference in the world, being of service to people. That's the whole goal for all of this for me. So anything good that comes from that for me is a beneficial side effect, perhaps. But the heart of what I do and why I do it, same as many of the people who I connect with in the public speaking environments, is wanting to make a difference, wanting to be of greater service, and being willing enough to say all my insecurities about not doing this, all my fears about being judged for putting myself in front of other people, are not as important as my reasons for doing this. So if you don't have a good why for why you want to do presentation work, why you want to do public speaking, why you want to be better at your communication, you're not going to have the stick with it factor that you need as well, because you're not really going to care enough. Because the first kind of problem or the first thing that gets in the way, the first obstacle you come across, might just be enough to take you out of the game completely. So your why has to be something big enough to push you through whatever potential obstacles or barriers that you might come up against on your journey. And this is a continual journey, and it really is a journey that is for people who are committed to consistent improvement in their lives, lifelong learners with a growth mindset, for always looking for improvement, always looking to be better tomorrow than you are today. If that's you, then hopefully you're in the right place. If we aren't already connected, come and connect with me. Say hi. I'd love to add you as a contact as well. We can start to chat. But I hope that you will enjoy hearing this and think about for yourself what your why is, if it's something you haven't spent much time on before. On Friday this week, I'll be releasing an episode with a good friend of mine, a guy called Suraj Soda. And Suraj has an amazing transformational journey in his life, which he shares a bit about in that episode. And we talk about things like his journey through the world of marketing and hosting the meetup groups that he does and his own podcast. So let's make sure you tune in for that. If you're not already subscribed, please get subscribed and listen to my chat with Suraj, which will be out on Friday. If you haven't checked out my episode with my LinkedIn expert from last week, John Esperian, please do go and take a listen as well. He's amazing. Do check out the back catalogue as well. Setting up some more amazing guests coming through as well, getting some really good responses from people who you're definitely going to want to hear me talking to as well. Have a great week, everybody. See you next time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please make sure to like and subscribe and come back for more great episodes and chats with amazing people. If you think you'd be a good guest for the podcast, or you know someone who would, or you think I'd be a good guest for your podcast, please feel free to get in touch. You can email me, john@presentinfluence.com. If you think I'd be a good speaker for your event, or you'd like to learn more about public speaking, presentation skills, whether that's online or in person, creating online products and services, video content, having clarity, confidence, and charisma in all of doing that, then please shoot me an email or visit my website, presentinfluence.com, and I'll see you there.